Hello, welcome into Intuitive Dreams 1111. I hope you are doing well. So for starters, I did do a pick-a-pile reading. I did that on Monday. Was it Monday? I believe it was Monday. I had laptop issues. It was stuck on stupid. It would not sync with my OneDrive. And my camera, my built-in camera into this laptop that I'm using right now, started freaking out this week. And it's still freaking out. So I have to restart the laptop to be able to get this to run. So hopefully this is going to get me through this reading for you. Basically, this is a reading for the full moon in Pisces, which is also a lunar eclipse at the same time. So I take it as the hour and 44-minute reading that I did Monday is not supposed to come out. And I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. I just want my camera to work properly to be able to do a reading for you. So we're going to try this a different way. I had some messages from last Friday, Thursday and Friday. I was off. I ended up going to the Potomac River. And so some of the messages I received while I was at the river, I wasn't really thinking it was going to be for the collective. Kind of thought maybe some of it was for me and some of it might be for a separate reading that I was going to do actually this week. But my built-in camera's freaking out and is giving me a hard time. So hopefully I get through this and I'll have to figure out what's going on. I may have to just get an external camera to continue on with readings, but let's do what we can do, all right? So let's start off and let's talk a little bit about the full moon in Pisces with this lunar eclipse. So it is also called the blood moon. It will turn red for 1 hour and 22 minutes. I was called to the 122. So if you feel inclined, go ahead and Google the spiritual meaning of 122. So there may be a message in there for you. So in numerology, so when we talk about ones, that is obviously new beginnings. It's opportunities. There's potential, pioneering, leading, alpha, abundance, ambition, and originality. And then when you pair it with twos, we're talking about balance, partnership, duality, union, love, kindness, okay? So there might be something there for you. It was called to it. So if you feel the call to Google the spiritual meaning, you may very well get a message out of that for yourself. So what this is going to do is going to bring fated shifts for us. We will all be going through some sort of shift. And it depends on what part of your life you get that shift in. Some of us will get shifts with our personal relationships. Some of us, it will be related to careers and jobs. Some of it will be love. It just depends. It can be spiritual shifts. We're all on different timelines. We're all on, different levels and dealing with different aspects of our life. So there will be definitely different shifts coming in for all of us. The intuition will be heightened. So if you're not one who feels that you have intuition, you do. It's just a matter of, do you trust it? So it will be heightened. So whatever your intuition guides you to, whatever comes to you, you need to listen to it and you need to trust it. it's going to be intensified emotions. All right. So let's face it, full moons are intensified. And then let's add a layer to it with Pisces, the fish. So interesting, because I do have some of my channeled messages. Part of it is regarding a fish. So we will get to that here shortly. But this will be a significant turning point, okay? It's going to bring whatever's been hidden, whatever issues have been hidden, to the surface. It'll allow us to close some chapters, and again, we will accelerate timelines. So, once you let go of something, something new can come in. When you close an old door, a new door will open, right? So it's kind of the give and take. It's at the same time we have Saturn in Pisces. So that's our karma. Saturn is the planet of karma. Not a bad thing, right? But it does govern lessons. So there's responsibility and structure, life lessons and maturity, karmic challenges. It's just different things that we face. Karma's good and bad. And we all are here living this human experience. So we all do come across challenges. One note on how to live in harmony when it comes to Saturn. So having self-discipline, integrity and honesty, right? Approaching people and situations in fairness and being honest, right? Not being sneaky, not being lying, not being shying away. That's where karma will come up and bite you in the little butt, right? Responsibility. Take responsibility for your actions. If you've done something wrong, step up to the plate, admit it, and move on. We're human. We're all going to make mistakes. Delayed gratification. So avoid taking the shortcut, right? Shortcuts will only get us so far, right? It'll get us maybe a couple steps ahead, but in the long run, it's going to take us probably 10 steps backwards, right? Because we took that shortcut and then we realize all the mistakes we've made or all the changes that need to be readjusted, and it creates more work for you down the road. And impulsive behaviors, trying to avoid being impulsive, right? Stop, take time, process your emotions and think about it. So, so that was a lot. So let's, get into when I went to the river. So when I went to the river on August 28th, when I walked through the park and I got to the water area, I noticed there, the reflection from the other side of the river, the trees. They were, I don't know, just regular maybe oak trees or whatever. But the reflection was in the water. And what was interesting to me was the reflection looked like willow trees in the water. Even though they were not willow trees, it just gave the impression and the look of a willow tree, which I thought was really interesting. It kind of gave a little blurry effect, which, when you look at a willow tree and the branches are bent over, it does kind of give that, wispy look of not so perfect, right? The branches can kind of flow into each other. They're very relaxed. They're very flexible. It's not like some other trees where you see the branches, they're stiff and there's not much flexibility. And if you go grab on it, it can snap and break, where the willow tree moves with the flow. So a little bit about the weeping willow. So the weeping willow symbolizes grief, mourning, the tear-like appearance, gives it this sorrow look, right? And that's due to the fact of the droop of the branches. But also, the willow represents immortality, rebirth, and resilience, okay? Because it has the ability to grow even after significant damage. So its flexibility in storms teaches us about adaptability and inner strength, while its connection to water and subconscious links it to the intuition and deep emotions. So how funny is it that, okay, water is emotions, and so I'm seeing the reflection of the willow tree in the water, but it wasn't a willow tree in the land. So that might be significant. Some of you might be facing some grief and some sorrow during this time, because we are in Pisces and it is very emotional. One thing to point out, though, is the next day when I went back to the river on the 29th, there was a dead fish as I walked to the water area, which I thought was interesting because there you go, Pisces the fish. Now I'm not saying, oh, Pisces, you're dead. No. The symbolic and the, metaphor behind the fact of the dead fish in the water, there was no movement. So it's almost like it's telling me, if you are going to feel super emotional and, things start bubbling up for you, it's time to sit still through those emotions, right? Don't swim against the current. Just lie, just be, just feel it, just go through it. That is something that I feel Spirit saying that's what we need to do. Kind of like I had frustration. I had already done pick a pile card on Monday. I couldn't get the thing uploaded. It was stuck, right? It was an hour and 44 minutes of my time. And so, I didn't get mad. I didn't get frustrated. I could have. I was like, what the heck's going on? And my camera wouldn't even let me do another video while it was syncing. And then I finally deleted it. I finally got over it and said, okay, I know I need to delete this. The Spirit's telling me this is not the reading that's supposed to come out. Okay, fine. I'm just going to be the dead fish. I'm just going to lie. I'm not going to go against the current. I'm not going to struggle. I'm just going to face the facts for what they are. And the fact that it's not a reading that's supposed to come out. We're going to do this over perfectly fine. So that's what I did. So you may come across something that's going to frustrate you. It's going to make you feel emotional. And Spirit's like, just go through it. Just feel it. Just accept it. Okay? So that's going to be for some of you. Back to the 28th, though. I had my dog with me at that time, and there was a lot of spirit activity. So I could tell, was getting very anxious. We were not there very long. But what was interesting is, while I was there, I did happen to see a few black butterflies. Now, I just did a reading on that, not this past week, but the week before. And if you didn't see that, or, it didn't relate to you, it was called, Are You Waking Up at 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m.? This reading's for you. So the black butterfly had shown up again prior to me doing that reading, and the black butterfly represents souls of the deceased that have not made their way to the afterlife. So they're wandering souls. And there's numerous reasons why, right? Some of them passed tragically. They're still here, frustrated. They don't know what to do. They're trying to figure their way through it. Others are dealing with family members or just other people in their life that are still alive, still in the matrix, still living, that might be holding on to them, right? Not necessarily ready to let them go. They're still grieving, right? They're still mourning. And so this lost soul isn't ready to go to the afterlife and cross over completely, because they know some of you are still grieving them. They're still holding on. And again, like I said, this was part of the weeping willow. And it's, it teaches you during this time to accept what is. And you might want to check out that reading, because it was learning to communicate with a loved one or somebody that has passed on. You can certainly communicate with them. They're around you, they're listening to you, but they try to figure out ways to get you to understand that they're communicating with you. And if you're not really spiritual and awake, you kind of shut things off and you feel just because they're not there in the flesh, they're not communicating with you. That's not true. So without getting into that too much anymore, go ahead and check out that reading. It was fairly recent, so you'll see it if you feel inclined to check it out. But it is for people grieving about lost ones. All right. Another thing I noticed, I saw a yellow leaf drop from the tree, and it landed in the water. And it was so graceful the way it landed. And then it just stayed on the surface and just went with the flow. It was smooth. It was like the Six of Swords. It was like, we're getting out of choppy water. We're in our emotions, but we're smoothing things out. We're feeling it. Kind of like on the 29th with the dead fish. Feel, dead fish, not swimming against the current, not, causing any commotion or getting upset and getting into our ego and causing disruption, right? This is a real time to feel the emotions. Another note I received was the winds were really strong on the 29th. So as I walked closer to the water, the winds really picked up, and it almost gave it a little ripple current. But the fish stayed. Like, it seemed like the fish moved close to the shoreline, but it never really made it there. But it didn't move far, which I thought was really interesting, because you would think with the ripples, it would eventually move that fish further, downstream, and it didn't. It kind of stayed right in the same area. So it was almost as if we're all learning to sit in our emotions and deal with them. This is especially because of all the air. To me, it was a lot of air signs. So that's, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Any of us have that in any of our, planet placements. But even if not, we still have a house of Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. So regardless, we all still embody some sort of air energy. And to me, the strong message here was that the air signs were really working through their emotions, because let's face it, you know, if you have a lot of air in your chart, I do. I have a lot of water as well. So I'm kind of both. I have to learn to work with, you know, the mind and the emotions and kind of get them in sync together. But if you have a lot of air, or if you're stuck in air energy, you're stuck thinking about your emotions. You're not feeling them, right? So that's why with the dead fish floating, right, it's kind of lay still. Let's feel it, right? Let's go through it, right? Let it happen. Okay. So that's what I have for just regular channeled messages while I was at the river. So I have 3 stones here, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see them, but I will pick them up and show you. So I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to have you look at each one of these stones, and whichever one you're called to is going to be the one where I pull cards, and that will be your reading. If you're called to more than one stone, that is perfectly fine. There is no right or wrong when it comes to reading energy, okay? If you're called to all 3, great. If you're called to one, perfectly fine. If you find yourself that you're not really called to any of these stones right now, that's fine too. Come back another day, or if it happens to pop up on your feed a month from now, check it out. Then maybe it's a message for you at that time, just not at this time right now, okay? So I'm going to pause you for one quick second, and then I will be back, and then we are going to talk about each of these stones real quick, and then we will pull cards. All right, now I'm back. So I'm going to zoom you in, and we're going to talk about each of these stones. Let me hold on one second. Let me turn. There we go. Okay. So we are going to start off. This is blue lace agate. Okay. So blue lace agate is about calming, anxiety, and stress relief, right? So like a peaceful running water. It'll bring serenity to the mind and the soul. So this helps with an overactive mind and helps inspire effective communication. Next up, rose quartz. So this promotes self-love, so it's emotional healing and fostering relationships by opening the heart chakra, releasing emotional wounds. And then we have citrine. So this attracts wealth, prosperity, and success. Promotes positive energy, joy, and mental clarity. Helps with creative expression and balance of emotions. So go ahead and take a minute, if you can see there, and you can meditate on which stone you are attracted to. And then this will be stone 1, stone 2, and stone 3. And then what I will do is I will pause, I will remove these stones, we'll leave number 1 up, and then we will start to pull some cards and see what messages we receive. Okay? So take a minute and see which stone you are called to. All right, I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So, group 1, you've chosen the blue lace agate. So, let's start off with the Akashic records and see what is in here for you. Since intuition will be heightened, let's find out what's going to be coming to you from the Akashic records. What message do we have for group 1, please? Blue lace agate. For the collective, please. Authenticity. There's a peacock. Yeah. Be your divine self at all times. You weren't destined to fit in. Break away from expectations and fully express yourself in your own unique way. And you'll be a magnet for success. To be the peacock, right? Wear what it is that you want to wear. Say what it is that you want to say. Do what it is that you want to do, right? Without stress, without anxiety, right? Go with the flow and be you, right? Just like the blue lace agate, right? Don't overthink. Don't be overactive. Just do. Just be you, right? There's no need to overthink who you are. Be the peacock. Show who it is that you are to everybody that is around you. So, are we dealing with groups that are hiding themselves when they're actually vibrant and beautiful and colorful? Don't hide yourself. What else do we have here, please? Meditate. Message. So, card 33, card 40. So the clear message for you here during this full moon in Pisces with the lunar eclipse, the messages you're going to be receiving is to relax, to meditate, to be you. Don't be anxious and concerned and worried about what people will think of you, or how they'll think of what it is that you want to wear, or where it is that you want to go, or what path it is that you want to take. You have the ability to do what it is that you want to do, to be authentically you. That's why people come to you, because you are you. We are all unique in our own way. We all have our own capabilities. We all have our own talents. There's something we all can each do. There is something we can all bring to the table that's different. Okay? And we don't have to be like anybody else. There is no need for it, because you cannot be replaced. No one can truly be who you are. And that's what's so beautiful. So some of you during this time are going to need to meditate and be still and be comfortable in who it is that you are, in your skin. these are meat suits, right? We all have souls. We all have auras about us, right? And you, each of us, can shine like the peacock in our own way. So if you're feeling anxious, as in maybe you're not good enough to be who you are, you need to get that out of your head. This is going to be a major shift for you to feel comfortable being you and not caring what anybody else thinks. Tell me more about this situation, please, for group 1. What is this situation about? Always remember, take what resonates, throw out what doesn't. I might be pulling on a situation that's for some of you, and it may not resonate for all of you. So if you find it doesn't resonate, check out the other stone readings. Whoop. Yeah. So some of you are feeling quite scattered. In some of your situations. Much like I mentioned in the beginning, the air signs are stuck in thinking about their emotions, and it's okay, let's stop thinking about it, right? Let's feel it. Go ahead and feel. Stop thinking and stop getting overly anxious. Calm yourself and go with the flow. So tell me more about the situation, please. Yeah, meeting. 2 or more people, discussions, planning. So many of you are meeting new people, and it's making you anxious. It's making you feel like you can't be you, and that's not true. So a lot of you are anxious around meeting new people. You're worried about what they think of you. Are they going to like you? Are you pretty enough? Do you dress well enough? Do you make enough money? Do you drive the right car? Do you have the right job? And you're being told to not worry about that. That's not important. What's important is for you to be you when you're meeting people. Yeah. So here's the karmic. So this is a lesson that you're needing to learn, okay? Is to be you, to be comfortable with who you are while you're around people, meeting new people. Yeah. History. So this is for a lot of you, you've carried this over, this anxiousness of not being good enough. You've carried this over from a past life, and it is now a lesson of yours in this lifetime to let it go, to not worry about what people think of you. Yes, lockbox. So you've been trapped behind a cage in an old thought pattern from a past life. And you've been wanting to break free to be the peacock for a very long time. And this is what's happening for you. Because you want to be you're afraid of being the peacock. This is what's going away for you during this shift. This is what's going away. Let's get into the tarot. So tell me about the challenge for group 1. What is the challenge for them? Yeah, of course. Of course. The Fool, Aries energy. Do you see her toe off that ledge? This is the Fool. This is taking that leap of faith. Look at her. She's like, oh, I don't know. Can I do this? Can I be the peacock? Can I step out wearing this outfit? Can I do that? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You are beautiful. Yes, you are handsome. No gender here, right? It just happens to be a feminine on the card. But masculine or feminine, it is authentically stepping off that cliff into a new you, into showing the world who you are. Your challenge is going to be jumping off that ledge. You can do that, though. You can do it. She looks a little worried, okay? She looks a little nervous. But it is okay for you to jump off that cliff. And to be you and show the world your beautiful self or your handsome self. Yeah, see, there's the Six of Cups. That's the past life again. Page of Swords. So this is a lesson that you have to learn, right? This is something you're learning. You're learning how to be you, right? From a past life. Some of you have somebody from a past life that you have fond memories of, or from just your past. You have fond memories of, and you watch. You stand on the sidelines watching. And some of you would like to have a discussion with them. They are from your past. And you are frustrated because you're anxious and nervous about showing this person from your past that you've known a long time who you really are. And this is a lesson that you're currently learning, is to take a leap of faith in simply being you. That's all it takes, is to just be you. You would think it wouldn't be hard, but if we have a lot of complexes, and oh, by the way, let's not forget, we do live in a world of judgment. There's a lot of judging, you know. Oh, that hairstyle doesn't look good on you, or what is he doing wearing those shoes? You know, there's always something being said. There's, you know, always an opinion, right? You know, everybody's got an opinion, just like everybody's got a, you know, an ass, right? I mean, so what? It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. What matters is, how do you feel stepping out being you? So during this time, Spirit's asking you to meditate. So I'm going to pull and read this to you real quick. Drawing this card asks you to create more stillness in your life, much like the fish that I saw at the river. It was still. And of course, we know why it was still, but it was still. Utilize meditation, breath work, and other gentle activities to relieve stress. Let's not forget, the blue agate is, calming, stress relief, right? So some of you may want to get a blue agate stone to keep around you, to help you while you are trying to relieve stress and anxiety. Bring more peace into your entire being. You may need a break from daily duties for clarity. So this is when, the messages will come to you. The messages will come to you saying, hey, you're beautiful. Hey, you look great as who you are. Hey, it's okay to tell somebody that you like something. Hey, it's okay to tell somebody you don't like something. These are the messages you're going to receive, basically saying it's okay to be you and to not be afraid. You're a beautiful peacock. Show the world who you really are. Your current situation may be distracting you. So more quiet time and less attachment are required. So let's not be attached to our old selves in worrying about, will people like me? Will they not like me? Now's not the time to do that. Now's the time to be still and accept yourself and to feel yourself authentically. Then step out your front door and don't care. Don't care about what anybody thinks. Be you. What is the angel number here for group 1? Angel number, please, for group 1. (1616). Readjustments, right? Getting realigned with you. Overcoming obstacles. Stalemate. Affection, support, comfort, renewal. Reconnection. Getting reconnected with you, with who you really are. Your self-control is strong enough to set things right. New romantic or platonic friendship is on the horizon. Right? I say you were going to be meeting some people, having some discussions. Along with the opportunity to reconnect and start anew with someone from your past, trust that everything will fall into place. as you embrace these positive changes. So there is somebody that you could be reconnecting with that you were not authentic with. You didn't show them who you really were. Some of you are meeting people, okay, new friends, possible new romantic partner, and this is your chance to shine and show them who exactly you are. So during this full moon lunar eclipse, this is you eclipsing out the old ways of thinking, the old ways of being, and being you. Group 1, I hope this was helpful, all right? If you choose to stick around for group 2 and 3, great. If not, if this is where we end, I hope to catch you on another reading at another time. Take care, and I'll pause for just a second and we'll go to group 2. Hello, group 2. If you've chosen group 2, you've chosen the rose quartz. Okay, so I'm going to set that right there. Let's dive into the Akashic Records and see what message comes out in here, since the intuition will be heightened during this time. So let's see what comes out of the Akashic Records for you to start this off. So tell us about group 2, rose quartz. What do they need to know from the Akashic Records? Nope. Okay. Feeling 2 wanted to come out. Two is sticking out, and I didn't go with my intuition. Oh, nope, 3. Look at this. Look at this. First up, scattered energy. I'll let you take a look at the picture for a second. Forgiveness. Deception. So let's not forget, before I read what's come out from the Akashic Records. So the blue rose quartz, again, is about promoting self-love, right? Emotional healing. To be able to foster relationships, right? By opening up the heart chakra. And so it's about healing emotional wounds. So right here, right off the bat, you know, with the forgiveness, scattered energy, and deception, clearly, before I even read the descriptions here, you can tell that some of you have been decepted before, in friendships, love, and it's time to seek forgiveness for yourself. Not necessarily forgiveness for anybody else you were involved with, but more or less really forgiving yourself. That's truly what we all need to be able to do, is to do that, because right now your energy is very scattered. And when you're scattered and not feeling grounded, then you're not healing yourself emotionally. You're allowing yourself to be kind of just fluttering all over the place and not really grounded in your feelings. So right now, okay, now's the time to get grounded into your feelings and be still and feel it and lay still like the fish that was not swimming, as I mentioned in the beginning of this reading. So let's start off with scattered energy. You have too much on your plate and have lost your focus. This is causing you to feel exhausted, overwhelmed. Prioritize your well-being and create a new plan. Forgiveness. Withholding forgiveness only hurts you and prolongs the pain. It's time to forgive someone, or maybe even yourself, so you can stay on the path of your highest potential. Deception. You're not seeing the entire picture of a person or situation. It may be purposefully withheld from you, or you may be choosing to look at another way. What on earth? I almost feel like even in the reading, it feels a bit of deception, because it's almost like I'm seeing these words differently than they actually are, and it's tripping me up, right? It's making me scattered. So some of you, it's very true, you're not looking at a person or a situation clearly. So let me reread this again. You may be choosing to look the other way or betray yourself in some way. It's time to gain clarity. Wow, that was a struggle to get through. So it's almost like you're deceiving yourself, because if you're looking away from a situation, you're not seeing the situation. Kind of like I was seeing these words in this card differently, and the message kept trying to come out differently than what was actually here. So I feel some of you are keeping yourselves a little too busy, right? Occupying yourself, not looking at a situation or a person that is deceiving you, or you're deceiving yourself about a person. Are you seeing what you want to see? Or have you already seen something about this person and you have not given yourself the forgiveness for maybe believing in somebody, maybe dating somebody or being around somebody that wasn't being true to you? They were showing you a different side of them than who they really were. And this has caused, emotional wounds for you. Because it's almost as if you don't want to face your emotions about the situation, because your emotions may have been hurt by a certain person or a certain situation. Okay, let's get some more. What else, Spirit, please? For group 2. Earth. Right off the bat, you have to get grounded. Card 11. Okay? Being scattered means, and you're not grounded, you're too up in your head. You're overthinking. Now's the time to lay still, much like the fish. Get grounded, stay still, sort out how you're feeling about this person. How are you feeling about this situation? How does it actually make you feel? Getting grounded. Okay, one more. Fire. Okay, that's the action. Now, some of you could be dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Some of you could be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Or you could have these strong placements, right? You could have strong fire and strong earth. And now's the time to get into your earth energy, to get grounded, and start feeling your passion, right? Start taking action for yourself. What is the challenge here? What is the challenge here, please, for the collective? The Six of Cups. The situation or the person, okay, that you're not taking a clear look at, or some of you have been deceived by this person and you don't want to look at it. Some of you are currently being deceived and you're not seeing it. It's because you've known this person a long time. This is somebody from the past. This is somebody you've shared a lot of memories with, okay? And it is hard to let go. This could be somebody very well from a past life, okay? So past life connections can carry over into the current life that we are currently living in. And they come back to see if you're ready to face the person, the situation. Are you ready to deal with it? Are you ready to learn from it? Many of you are choosing to not look at this person or the situation. You're shutting it off. But that's what's causing you to be scattered. Okay? Because some of you are taking too much action. You're in your fire too much. You're not in your earth energy, being more grounded. Okay, so give me more on this, please. You know, it's funny. The Fool and the Six of Cups came out in group 1. So if you feel called to check it out, please do. Okay, so some of you felt like you were being foolish, or you're afraid that you are going to end up being foolish if you face what this person's doing or what you're doing to yourself. Clarify the Fool. Ten of Cups. Some of you, you're this person or situation. So the Ten of Cups is very much like a blessing. Some of you, this is a person that is for you from your past. That is a blessing that you choose or have chosen to not forgive. Something has happened and you choose to not forgive, even though they are from your past. It could be a very happy union with this person, but there was something that was deceptive. So what was deceptive? Oh, Two of Pentacles. Okay. So some of you, they were too busy for you. Some of you, they were juggling another person with. So you weren't the only one. So either you weren't the only one. So I'm hearing two different stories. So some of you, you weren't the only one when it came to other options in love. Some of you were not the only option because they were busy with the scattered energy and keeping too many balls in the air. They had other things that they were doing, right? Career, hobbies, things like that, other endeavors, and having a relationship just wasn't their priority. So they were juggling, and you were not the priority. And some of you are having trouble forgiving that. So you remain busy. And others of you, the other person remains busy. So you have to, put yourself in the situation as it fits. It's going to be different for everybody. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. Oh yeah, work. A lot of work. So it's very much busy work. I'm not seeing it as another person, another boyfriend, girlfriend, lover. I see it as this person stays busy working on their career. So possibly during this full moon lunar eclipse, some of you are going to be forced to take a look at the situation and to see if you can forgive. You're going to be forced to stay still and think about this situation. All right, so tell me more about the situation then. So this is all about, heart chakra opening up. Fostering relationships. Yeah, there we go. See, this came out in group 1 as well, past. So you have past twice. So this is somebody from a past life. For sure. Ten of Cups is this is a blessing. This person's supposed to come into your life for a blessing. And instead of worrying, about were you the fool, there was something that's happened here. Somebody was upset that they were juggled and work was put before maybe the relationship. That just means this person may not have been ready. And it's, time to look into being the fool, jumping in rather than feeling like the fool. But I feel like some of you are worried about feeling like the fool because you may have jumped in and this person was too busy juggling and working, career oriented, making that money, pentacle. Here, too much on your plate, too much on their plate. And you were not the priority, and some of you can't forgive that. But, maybe it is time to look at that because maybe it just wasn't your time. This person is your wish. Maybe it's time to forgive, and during this time you'll start to think about forgiving what has happened. Let's pull an angel number. This will be an intense time for the heart chakra. Forgiving, forgetting, maybe not forget, but forgiving and having that conversation and being able to move forward. Because I'm not seeing that there was another person that's in the mix. It was work. Oh, gotta have two. What, one for each of you? Oh my goodness. 66660606. You got enough sixes going on there? Great blessings. What did I just say? The Ten of Cups. This was a blessing. This person from your past life is a blessing. And before I read the card, I'll show you. Great blessing. Commitment. Commitment. Look at this. Self-love. What did I just say? The rose quartz is about self-love, boundaries, needs, positivity, wisdom, understanding, letting go, forgiveness, letting go of what hurt there may have been from the past. Nurture yourself by honoring your needs, desires, and boundaries. Let go of what weighs you down and make space for meaningful experiences. Expand your spirit across all areas of your life, not just work. We want to focus on the heart chakra too, okay? Embrace the big love. Big love. Ten of Cups. Blessing. Take a leap. Get grounded. Take action. Look at these two. They're remembering each other from a past life. So embrace the big love, opportunities, or job that are about to enter your journey. I think we've got work down over here. I think we've got the work down, okay? Look at this. I think there's plenty of work that's been going on. A lot of busy work. I don't think we have to worry about the work. It's the heart. It's the love. The big love that is here. Commitment, loyalty, responsibility, truth, love, light, spiritual growth, solutions, living with honesty, and light every day is a powerful way to cultivate a peaceful and meaningful life by embracing the truth. You unlock solutions and comfort. Let go of worries by expressing your emotions. Emotional healing. So it sounds like we have two people that need to stop lying to themselves, deceiving themselves about what this connection is. Let go of worries by expressing your emotion authentically and regularly. So it's not something you can do just once. You have to open up and express to each other every day. Open your heart to the future because best is yet to come. So some of you have to learn to forgive what has happened here in the past. If somebody, was too busy, maybe it was the both of you that were a little busy, right? Very deceptive, not looking at this for face value, not looking at the situation, deceiving yourselves. Now it's time to give yourself forgiveness, forgive each other, let go, and be in love. Be happy in your emotions. You have a wish. This person is your wish. And yes, they are from a past life. Okay? So we have water. We have earth. We've got strong fire. Okay? Could be anybody, but just, and then, Aries energy here as well. But it can be any sign, just pointing out the energy for you. So I hope this was helpful. This might connect to the first reading with the first stone. So if you feel called to it, go ahead and watch the first. And if you feel called to sticking around to the last stone, that's great as well. I'm going to pause you and then we will start stone 3. Group 3, citrine, nice, attracts wealth, prosperity, and success, promotes positive energy, joy, mental clarity. So we're going to have creative expression, balance in the emotions. So let's jump into the Akashic records since the intuition will be heightened. Let's see what message will be coming to you during this time through the Akashic records. What does group 3 need to know for the citrine, please? That was quick. I think it's funny. I think all of these stones, some of these messages are flowing over to each other because grounding was not this particular card, but the earth card from my Oracle Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. The earth card came out, so there needed to be some grounding. But I think that's funny that now we have grounding for group 3. You're being asked to ground yourself. You've been spending too much time in your head. That's what group 2 was about, right? Because they were pretty scattered and I was like, you need to get out of your head. So if you relate to this, it might be worth checking out reading for stone 2 and reading for stone 1 because they both kind of went together as well. Give me 1 second. I need to blow this candle out. Sorry about that. It was getting a little hot. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Distractions. Yeah. So some of you could be up in your head being distracted, and that's why you need to ground yourself. So you've been spending too much time in your head, and it's time to pay attention to your body and to earth. Get outside, plant your feet on the ground, and enjoy the centering feeling this brings. So some of you during this full moon in Pisces with the lunar eclipse, you're not going to feel grounded. You're going to feel maybe even like your equilibrium is a little off. Okay? And so right now, Spirit's like, we want to help you keep your mental clarity and not get too up in your head, right? You don't want your thoughts to overtake your feelings during this time, right? Not everything you think, you shouldn't pay attention to every one of your thoughts, is I guess what I'm saying, right? We want to listen to ourselves, but we don't want it to be just us in our head, because then we overthink and then we kind of get stuck in a spin cycle. So let's go to sacred symbols then. Can we get more on this, please? Divine masculine. Number 2 in affluence. Card 5. So some of you are the divine masculine. You're very much in your thoughts of affluence, right? You're looking for abundance, right? Because citrine attracts wealth and prosperity and the success. But some of you are probably overthinking this a little too much. And also with the masculine energy, some of you feminines need to be in your masculine energy, because masculine energy is about our goals. It is about actually doing the steps it takes to attract the wealth, to have the prosperity, and to be successful. But again, it's a time to be grounded and not be too up in your head, or you may miss the chance for the affluence to come in. Okay, so tell me more about this situation then. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm being told to read to you about the affluence real quick. Card 5. Wealth. Ha 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 ha. And of course with the green. Wealth in all forms is available to you now. You are rich on all accounts. Drawing this card invites you to feel the abundant flow of having all that you need on the material and spiritual planes. If you are inquiring about a situation or relationship, this certainly indicates that there is much to be experienced here. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. You are being provided for and rewarded at this time. So some of you might be overthinking your abundance and wealth and goals you are in much better position than your head's telling you right now. So this is why Spirit's like, get grounded, get outside. You know, stop overthinking the situation. Tell me more about the situation. Yes, you're already abundant. You're doing well. You're on track with your goals. If you are the masculine, or if you're a feminine needing to be in your masculine energy. Yeah, legal. Settlement. So some of you are already, this is going to be different for each of you, but some of you are coming to agreements on contracts, right? And maybe you're overthinking the agreements that you've come to. Right? Are you overthinking the settlements on these agreements, contracts, whatever this means to you? This could be in business. This could be, some of you could be in divorces. Some of you could be opening up your own business. You're going through the legalities. You're going to the courthouse. You're, filling out paperwork. You're coming to agreements with business partners. It's going to be different for everybody. But Spirit's like, please get yourself grounded. Get out of your head. You're doing well. Everything you want is going to pan out just the way you want. Let's not let our emotions get the best of us. Let's stay mentally clear. Let's stay in balance, right? You don't want to get out of balance when you're dealing with, legalities, right? With new contracts and settlements. You want to make sure you're not making any moves that are going to put you into a position of any retaliation. Bottom of the deck. You don't want to not be fair and balanced, just like I was saying with Saturn in with the karma, right? In order to stay harmonious. If you didn't catch the beginning, the intro, I explained, about the full moon in Pisces and the lunar eclipse, but then also mentioned Saturn has re-entered into Pisces, and Saturn is karma. And in order to live, karma's good. Karma can be positive or negative, right? There are lessons that are learned. But what I was saying in the beginning is, in order to be in harmony with Saturn, right? To be on the good side of karma, you got to have self-discipline, right? You got to have integrity and honesty. And avoid shortcuts. Avoid impulsive behaviors. So this is why you need to remain grounded and stay in balance, so you don't make a decision where there's retaliation against you. Or even if there is some retaliation against you now, if some of you are in court dealings trying to have settlements, remain balanced, stay grounded. You are doing well. You will do well. Remain in balance during this time, right? Because you don't want to let your emotions get the best of you. So what will be the challenge here for group 3? What is the challenge going to be for group 3, please? Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is an energy of moving on to calmer waters, okay? But here's the key. With the Six of Swords, you see the two people that are in the boat and they have their swords in the boat. So part of what this card means is taking what is absolutely necessary so you can transition on, move on to calmer waters. You had the affluence card. So that was saying you are already abundant financially, spiritually, in all aspects of your life. You are already abundant. Be careful trying to take more than you really need. Or it could cause retaliation. It could cause kickback. It could cause some additional problems for you legally. Okay? You want to act fair with integrity and you want to, remain in balance. Part of this is moving on to calmer waters, and you can move on to calmer waters. Stay grounded, stay balanced, take what you need. You don't need to take everything. You don't need to come out with everything out of this settlement. Okay? So the challenge for you is going to be taking just what you need to transition on, right? The swords is very much mental activity. Maybe, it's going to be tough for you mentally moving on from this situation. Okay, and that's why the first card down is get grounded, get in nature, get your feet on the ground, and get out of your head so you can be clear when you're moving on. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. Some of you will be able to rebuild a brand new foundation when you transfer on and take what you need. You'll be able to collaborate with other people and rebuild another strong structure. Others of you are seeking counsel and advice from legal for some sort of agreement, compromise, settlement. You're seeking counsel. Yeah. Nine of Wands. So it's, you know, you're persevering through this all while you're trying to protect yourself. You have to be careful not to continue to do things like you've always done in the past. Sometimes pushing through something can be difficult if you're approaching it the same way. Some of you feel like, whoever you're dealing with is really out to get you. And that might be, an overthinking process of why you need to get out of your head. Maybe not everybody's out to get you like you think. Some people really do just want to be fair, do things correctly and in fairness and integrity, and then, walk away or sail away with each of you with what you came into the situation with together. Doing the nice, even, equal split and moving on. Yeah, King of Wands. I feel very much like, I'm talking to someone who is a business owner or is an entrepreneur. Who has a lot of vision, who has a lot of fire, who's determined to get what it is that they want. But you just might want to be careful about, possible, like I said, kickback of trying to get too much. You want to be mindful of taking what you need. Because like I said, the challenge is you just taking what you need and transitioning on. It looks like you're struggling and you might want a little more. Okay, so what is the angel number here for number 3? Yeah, 1818, willpower. Having that willpower. Oh, yes. Achievement, success, progress, prosperity, ambition, courage. King of Wands has the courage, right? Look at the little lion down there. So you have the courage and the fortune. Significant events are on the horizon for you. You will make great strides in your endeavors and gain invaluable experiences. The right people and resources will come into your life. 3 of Pentacles, like I said, you can rebuild. You can collaborate with new people. Will come your way, presenting excellent opportunities and positive changes. Embrace the journey towards greatness. 1818. So, yeah, you got to have the willpower to be able to lay the wands down and transition on, right? Leave behind what you don't need. head into the future. Get yourself grounded. You know, this is always a lesson to be learned from previous endeavors where you're trying to go through, you know, settlements and agreements and compromises. And, you know, you're already affluent. You're already abundant. So you don't need to protect yourself, you know, and be like that wounded warrior as much as you think you do. Okay? Balance, emotional balance. So you're going to want to need to stay very much emotionally balanced during this time, and no impulsive behaviors. Because I don't know why I'm feeling like I'm dealing with somebody who could very well be impulsive, and that could cause retaliation and kickback on you. So you're going to want to be mindful. That's why Spirit's like, first card out, man. You've got to get grounded, get out of your head, right? Stop being stuck in, you know, well, I can't move on. I can't take just what I need and transition on. No, you can. Get yourself grounded, right? Get in your masculine energy. Come down to earth. Be realistic. You are affluent. You are. There's so much you have, and there's so much more you can get in the future doing this fair. Remember, you want to harmonize with Saturn's karma. You don't want to go against it, because that's where, you know, the hard lessons come in. You don't want any real hard lessons coming out of this, right? You don't want that kickback. So remain balanced during this time. So group 3, I hope that was helpful. If you feel you want to check out the other stone readings, please feel free. I hope this was helpful. I hope that I see you again. And keep in mind that I do readings very differently. I like to change things up. So I might do, the next set of readings might be Celtic Cross for each of the signs. So it'll be an in-depth of getting more into the day-to-day. So we shall see. Much love and light. I will talk to you soon.